All right, so I have this question here from Victor, and Victor's question is quite long. So please, I would like to beg your indulgence to read it out, but it's quite long, and this is even me trying to paraphrase some of what he has written. It says, "Dear sir, first I want to sincerely thank you for your podcast. They have been a tremendous blessing to me. I'm grateful I came across your podcast where you spoke about polymath, as I can relate deeply to that concept. I am a multi talented person, but I struggle consistently with choosing a career or focusing on a specific skill. Whenever I start something, I eventually lose focus and motivation. I've taken on many different pursuits, and people know me for various things. I studied electrical engineering, and I am currently pursuing an MSc in renewable energy. I also have a registered company, and I work as a public slash motivational speaker. However, none of these truly bring me joy or fulfillment. Recently, I discovered that I have a strong bodily kinesthetic intelligence, and I enjoy activities like dancing, acting, public speaking, and coaching. I admire polymaths like Leonardo da Vinci, but I feel like I am not excelling in any one area right now. Managing so many interests has drained my time, energy, and resources, affecting my personal life and relationships. I often feel lost in thought, which impacts me emotionally, mentally, and physically. At 25, I feel a sense of urgency to find on a clear direction, one that aligns with my strengths and brings me success and fulfillment. I would greatly appreciate your advice on how to navigate this and find clarity." All right, so this is a good question. This is me paraphrasing it. But then it's a good question. And I want to thank Victor for taking time to listen to the podcast. I appreciate you listening to the podcast. And I'm glad you could resonate with what the podcast I did on the multi-talented person. If you've not listened to it, I would advise you listen to it. It's I can't remember what it's actually called, but if you just check the podcast and look for multi-talented person, I'm sure that word is in the podcast title, and you'll find it very beneficial. And this is where I talked about the multi-talented person. One key thing, if you're multi-talented, is to be spirit-led, so that you do not go after what seems urgent. You go after what is instructed by God. Very important. So there's a tendency for the multi-talented person to feel a need to do everything, but not everything is important to do per day. There is an assignment for the day. And so it's very important for someone that is multi-talented to cue into what the director of life wants them to do. And in that podcast, I kind of talked about it, that a lot of times when we talk about hearing from God, sometimes it is not as dramatic as we think it is, where you have a light come into the room, speaking to you in some ominous voice, telling you what to do. It probably doesn't happen that way. But then a lot of it is your inkling. You understand? Your inkling, that thing that is weighing on your heart that day more than any other thing. A lot of us, God speaks through us, through those desires that we have, especially if you've developed a relationship with God. Sometimes God's voice is not an external voice, it's the voice that we always dismiss as the voice of our mind. God's voice is the voice of our mind, especially if you've developed a relationship with God. And so this is Victor here telling me, look, he feels he's a polymath, but the biggest problem, the biggest issue he has is following through on things he's doing. He realized that he starts something, and afterward, boredom and disinterest sets in. Then he moves to the next thing. And in a very short time, boredom, disinterest sets in. And this way I want to talk about three parts. Three parts of living a purposeful life. Three parts that we must pay attention to. These three parts. If you're going to live purposefully, these three parts are very important. If you're going to follow through with a task, an assignment, a mission, a calling purposefully, and not drop off along the way, there are three things. Immediately I read Victor's message, I realized what was missing. I realized what was missing, what was greatly missing. And I realized why he is not able to follow through. So if you're listening today, you're like, Victor, I want you to listen closely. And if you check your life, you realize that when this is missing, it's hard to follow through. You see, there are three parts to a purposeful life, what you call a purpose-driven life. Someone that has an assignment, has a calling, has a mission, has to have these three parts. The first part that keeps us purposefully following something is passion. The first thing that keeps us purposefully following something is passion. That thing within you that just excites you about this thing. That thing that excites you, that pulls you towards the thing. That thing that makes you, when you're doing that thing, time flies by. Time doesn't exist anymore. You can do it without eating. It kind of fills you up doing it. Passion is your love relationship with your calling or with your mission. It's a love relationship. It's what you call doing what you love. Passion, very important. You know what passion does? Passion keeps us creative about our purpose. When you're passionate about it, you are in love with it. When you're in love with it, you think about it. When you think about it, you come up with ideas about that thing. Passion links us to creativity towards our purpose. When you're passionate about a man, a young man, or a young lady in a relationship, you creatively come up with what to do for them that day. You creatively write poems. You creatively say sweet things. You'll be creative. Someone that is in love is creative. Ideas will just be coming to your mind. Passion keeps us creative. They make the purpose path fun. It's excitement. But a lot of times, it's a burst. It's a burst of energy that has its up times and down times. That's the problem with people that have only passion towards what they are doing. They might be high today. Tomorrow, I don't feel like, Jerry. I just don't feel like. Because passion is an intense feeling. It's an intense feeling. So, there are people that are passionate. The problem with passionate people is, don't be surprised one day they're out of it. And they can be out of it for a stretch of days till that feeling comes up again. But we can't do purposeful things like that. We cannot. We cannot. That's why we go to the second thing about being purposeful. Purposeful activity is called profit. Profit. Profit is that thing that you get from following your purpose, from being purposeful about what you do. There's an add-on. Profit is an add-on, something you get. It might be something you earn. It might be something you are gifted. But it's something you didn't have when you started that comes from the external. It's externally given. You didn't have it when you were setting out on this purposeful thing. So you can earn it. So some people are purposeful about what they are doing. It might be a business that they feel a calling to do, an assignment to do. You see, when you do a business, you're not earning profit, you can get discouraged. Because what profit does is that it makes you feel considered. It makes you know that you've been considered. It is a type of confirmation. It's confirmation that what you are doing is good. I don't know if you've ever done something you love doing before, and every time people tell you it's good, it's good, it's good, then one person comes and says it is so good, puts their hand in their pocket, have this. Oh man. Then you are really sure that what you're doing is good. Profit is confirmation. Whether it's earned profit, it might be earned through a salary. You understand? When you're working, and you just at the end of the day, alert your salary. You're like, yes, my boss is happy with me. I'm doing my work well. When your salary comes early, you're like, my boss is very happy with me. When your salary comes in surplus, they give you something extra, you're like, okay, I must be doing very well. It's confirmation of your purpose. That's when it is earned. When it's not earned, you're just doing what you're doing. You're giving it out. Like what I'm doing right now, giving out. Sometimes I have people call me and just tell me, Mr. Tola, send me your account details. That's, for me, huge confirmation. People don't understand. It's huge confirmation. I'm telling you, that's the truth. Huge confirmation that I'm on the right path. That this person is so blessed by what I'm doing. They are actually willing to part with their personal means. There's hardly any higher compliment someone can give you. Because that their personal means is their time, their energy, put in money form. And them saying, I love what this guy is doing. That kind of partnership it confirms a lot. It makes me feel, this person actually considered me. They actually considered. It makes me know that I've been considered. It's very hard to do something purposefully and there is no profit, whether earned or gifted. No profit. Sometimes the profit is someone I've had people that just say, Tola, I love listening to you. I just want to take you out to lunch. Do you understand? It's the profit. It's very easy for people to just say, it's good, it's nice, I like it, it's good, it's helping me. But when there's profit, it helps you to feel convinced about what you're doing. The conviction. Confirmation. Consideration. So profit is good. So when you're purposeful, there should be profits there. Or else you can get disillusioned with your purpose. That's why a lot of times God will send somebody to profit you. That if you're doing it ministry type, send someone to profit you. If you are doing business, God will send the client to commission you. You understand what I'm saying? So profit is very important. It's passion and profit. It's important. But what profit does is confirmation. It just confirms. Now, the third thing, which I think this is where Victor, when I read your message, I realize that there's passion. I realize that there might be some profits too. These are not your problem. These two things are not the problem you have. I don't think so. You've not expressed anything about a need for money or a discouragement with money. So you've not said that. And you've not said anything about a disinterest going into it. In fact, you sound very interested and passionate when you go into it. It is when you've gone into it, after a while, you lose interest. And this is where I realize is the third thing that is missing in a purposeful experience. And the third thing is people. The people you serve. The people you serve. I dare say that this is the strongest part of a purposeful work. This is the strongest part of purpose. Not passion, not profit, but people. The strongest part. Because the truth is that the core of God initiating a purpose in you is always for other people. This third will is so important. And this is what I have not heard or read in Victor's confusion or his question. There is no people element. So in all he has said he does this, he does dancing, he's doing this MSc, he's doing, you understand? But then he has not talked about the people he's serving. So what I'm getting from Victor is that he's expressing a lot, but not serving enough. He's doing it to onboarding Victor, but not to onboarding others. He is not seeing the effect of what he's doing on other people. That's why he's so focused on the effect on him. That's why he's tired. Passion helps us to be creative. Profit gives us confirmation, but people help us to be consistent. People is the seed. People, they are the seed of consistency. Anybody who consistently shows up for something, trust me, that person believes that there's somebody or there will be people that will earn, that will benefit from what they are doing. It's the people that we serve that help us to show up when our passion is down and when we are not profiting. I can authoritatively say this. I do what I do. Serving people, giving people clarity, teaching, encouraging, giving direction and hope. I'm not always passionate. Even though I'm passionate about teaching, I'm passionate about having conversation, but I'm not always passionate. I'm definitely not always profitable. But every time I see the faces of the people that need help, I see the faces of the people that need clarity, I see them, and my heart aches for them. They keep me showing up. Even on days when I say, I'm not doing anymore. I can't ignore the people. The people, very important to me. You need to start seeing your people, Victor, and every other person listening to me right now. If you do not see your people, you can never be consistent. If you do not see your people, you can never be consistent. It is the people that drive consistency. People. You show up for the people. So, Victor, what you are doing, do you see the people? Do you see the people you are serving? Studying electrical engineering, do you see the people after graduating from school that you want to serve? Doing this renewable energy thing, do you just want to be rich with it? Or do you have a service? Do you see people that are in need of this skill in renewable energy? As a motivational public speaker, do you see the people that need you? When you see the people, you forget yourself. It's the passion that keeps us creative. The profit is what acts as a confirmation. But the people is what makes us show up. If you look at the life of Jesus, a lot of times there was frustration, there was pushback. But the people were on his mind throughout. That's why even when they crucified him, he didn't call down fire on them. He says, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. They are like children. That's why when he was about to feed them, he was preaching in a particular place. And disciples say, these people, he said, these people, they are hungry. And disciples were like, let them go and look for food. He said, no, 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 no. You feed them. You feed them. He always saw the people as lambs without shepherds. It wasn't 100% passion, even for Jesus. It was the people. It was the love for the people. The people. It's the people that keep you showing up to the very end. If you do not have people, you cannot stay. The people. You cannot stay. Look. You need to ask God to show you your people. The people you are serving. That's why I always tell people, send me messages, send me messages. Send me messages so I can know. For me, biggest thing, are people listening? If people are listening, no matter how discouraged I get, with passion and profit, those people will keep me showing up. A lot of us are people ignorant. And we wonder why we are jumping from one thing to another. It's because of the self. The passion wants to express self. The prophet wants to confirm self. But only the people is something that radiates outwards, that puts the self back and says, put every other person above the self. So you need to find your people. When you dance, don't just dance because you love to dance. Try to take note of the people that are watching you dance, the people that are encouraged by your dancing, the people that wake up every day and want to see you dance, the people that your dancing makes their day complete. When you find those people, you will show up, you will commit, you won't stop things easily. Look, stopping things easily is a sign of immaturity and selfishness. People that are immature and selfish just say, I'm stopping, I'm not doing again. You see it at the workplace. People that just quit at the drop of a hat. I don't like the way this person is talking to me. I quit. I resign. That person doesn't care about people they are serving in that company. Someone that cares will be like, man, I have to look above this person to the people. If I quit this job, people will suffer. So I won't quit. Or I won't quit abruptly. I will let them find a replacement for me. But people that are just thinking salary, once you just get a higher paying job, they are gone. They don't care. Let the company suffer because they don't see people. Inconsistency is a sign of people blindness. That's what it is. If you are doing something, I don't enjoy it, so I stop. I stop. Inconsistency shows that you don't see people. That's the truth. I always say this. People wonder how I was able to do logo design for so long. Number one, I had a passion. Number two, there was profit. Number three, I always saw my clients. They were real to me. I had this habit. I don't do jobs if you're just sending me an email. We must talk on the phone. We talk on the phone for about 2 hours. We do a discovery call. I know how many children they have. I know how old they are. I ask them why they start their business. I want to feel the pulse of the people. So when I'm working on their logos, I work for them. Not just because I know how to do logos or I love it or it's bringing in money, because there's somebody out there that needs me. A lot of professionals, in quotes, don't see people. If you see people, you will never turn up work late. When you give a deadline, you will deliver on that time. When I work with clients, I can say this with my full chest. Very few times did I not meet up to my delivery. Even if it means me not sleeping, I will not sleep. I told the person Wednesday, it is Wednesday, before 12 noon. Not Wednesday, 11 p.m. 12 noon, they must get their work. Because this person needs me. Don't you get it? It's people. Once you start seeing the people, you would have staying power. Every company that you've seen out there that is doing well does well because they see the people. Every company. I was watching a movie yesterday. It's called Blackberry on Netflix. You should try to watch it. It's a good movie, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Blackberry. In the late 90s, early 2000s, they were the number one mobile phone producers in the world. They had 45% share in the market. 45% of the phones in the market were Blackberries in the early 2000s. But once profit started coming and they started thinking about themselves and started competing and stopped seeing people, that's where they lost it. They went from having 45% shares in the market to having 0%. 0%. And then came Apple, that had Steve Jobs at the head, that always saw the people and what their need was. He saw the needs of the people first. That's why Apple was always solving problems, showing up. Even though I'm doubting they're still seeing needs now. That's why I feel like Apple in a few years, they will sleep just like, because now they're just churning out stuff without thinking of the people. When you stop thinking of the people experience, you will fall. I see companies today, they are falling. They don't even know they are falling. Companies like YouTube, you think they're so strong today. Give YouTube a few years. I can already see that YouTube has stopped seeing people experience. That's why you can watch YouTube and they will bombard you with like 5 ads. They don't care anymore about the experience of the people. And so it tells me they can't stay for too long. It doesn't just affect big companies, it affects the individual. So I really feel for someone like you, Victor, you need to start seeing the people you are called to serve. When you see the people you are called to serve, you actually would stop quitting on things you are called to do. You will stop quitting because of a lack of interest. You will stop quitting because of a lack of profit. You start showing up because you realize it's actually bigger than you. That's why we show up, because we realize it's actually bigger than us. It's a God project, not a me project. I hope this helps you, Victor, and any other person listening right now that is finding it hard to commit. It's the people. The reason why people don't commit to marriages is because they do not see the family anymore. Men walk out on their wives and children because they stop seeing the people in the marriage. All they think of is themselves. I'm not happy in this marriage anymore. Women and men divorcing, they don't see the children anymore. They don't see the children. All they see is selfish individuals. They see only themselves. I'm not happy with you. I'm not happy with you. We're not happy together. Irreconcilable difference. Divorce. They don't care about the children. They don't. If you look in the eyes of your children, divorce will never cross your mind. You will work on that marriage and work on that marriage and work on that marriage. If you see the people within the family, but people don't see people anymore. They're like, what's this marriage profiting me? What am I getting from it anyway? I'm not getting anything. I'm not interested. I'm not excited. She doesn't excite me anymore. Because you don't see the people. You don't see the people. You don't see the people on which or to which your marriage is tethered. You don't see your children. You don't see your parents. You don't see your extended family. You don't see the church. You don't see people that your breaking of your marriage would affect. You don't see. All you just see is me. I'm not getting anything. I'm not feeling anything. So why am I staying? That is an immature, selfish response to life. Whether in life or in business or in calling, the people matter. When you see the people, you will stay and do the work.